I'm in search of conversation guests. If you are interested or know someone that might be interested, please contact me directly. Thank you.
All right, let's get started. Actually, I have a topic that I want to start with Mr. Emmett here. I want to pick a fight with you.
Right out the gate. Hold on, let me drink first. I have a bar on the side over here.
So when I talk about decentralized consensus of truth, do you think I'm super crazy, or do you understand where I'm coming from? Maybe when I talk about how the public key, private key allows for identities to be uniquely unique and unhackable, do you think I'm super crazy and thinking consensus of truth is possible on the blockchain?
Oh, possible, yes. So decentralized and consensus, I have no problems with at all. I don't have a problem with truth, but when you combine those three things together, truth is a hard thing to get humans to abide by. Truth is very difficult in our world. So I'm more careful to use a term like truth. I'll tell you the truth, but I can't tell you what reality, I can tell you what I think reality is. I can't tell you other people are going to be truthful. I can't tell you there's a system that ensures truth.
No, well, so when I say truth, it's just like the same thing as textbooks. And whatever government wins the war, they're gonna have their education system buy certain books or produce certain books and okay those certain books, and the teachers are kind of set through a.
See, I would call that doctrine instead of truth.
Yeah, but I don't think consensus of doctrine would be a good. But I think consensus. I mean, when we look at history, most people come out of high school. When I said earlier that I wanted to pick a fight, I was just actually curious on if you think I'm crazy, which I'm totally fine if you said I'm crazy, but.
No, I think you're very hopeful about cryptocurrencies and their ability to change the world. I don't think they're going to change people much. I think it'll change the world. I don't know that you can change people too much.
When you talk about the consensus of truth, that's what you're talking about. What is it in itself when it comes to cryptocurrency? So is it just the way the system runs in the back end, where it's truthful in the sense where you have a consensus of a whole bunch of different nodes and blockchains in itself, where they come to a conclusion where it's kind of seen as the truth? Is that what you're trying to get?
I'll throw a couple examples out there just so for.
Yeah, it's his term.
Yeah, no. Is that a term that's out there, or is that something that
I heard one other person say it. I forget who it was. I want to give credit to him, and I can't think of it. I'll put it in the description once I find it on the video.
It's probably Greg Wright.
Fuck Greg Wright, motherfucker. Why you gotta do that?
Shit.
Consensus of truth. Let's just say just say money for now. Just simply, I'm going to give you $1.
Okay.
Through blockchain and the consensus mechanisms of around the world, all the millions of miners out there that say that I sent you $1 and they all confirm it, that is kind of truth.
Okay.
Now, that's one piece of it. Let's take it a step further. If we built a voting system for the president, and somehow someone built an identity blockchain also, so then I could have my fingerprint or maybe whatever types of biometrics that they could tie into the blockchain for me to say that that's my identity and I'm voting for.
It's a way of like authentication. Then is that what it is?
No, he's saying if you can get authentication,
Yeah.
then a voting system on a blockchain could be very effective.
Meaning the truth.
Well, untamperable,
And I'm okay with when I say
unmanipulated.
when I say consensus of truth, though, because as we know, or there's hard forks and soft forks that's possible. So if you have enough of a government, enough of a society, a population where they want to tell the miners to say, hey, we don't agree with this. All you miners download this new software to hard fork out. So that's the consensus of a society agreeing to that truth.
Okay.
And that's something that humans have never had a possibility of something that yet finite, in the sense that we know a vote, we know a mining server, we know how many confirmed that transaction, and to some degree that it's virtually unhackable. So that gives a truth factor. Now, if you hard fork and people agree, is that truth anymore? But I think for a society, that's good enough. Truth is only as good as the society needs it to be.
What do you think, Earl?
No, I'm just thinking like, I guess maybe the verbiage in itself, like truth, is different for other people. So I mean, in the
have our own truth.
Yeah, in the context of blockchain, it seems different, like a different context than what I guess one person might believe the truth to be. Like truth is sometimes could be fact.
Yeah.
You know, at the same time, is it fact? I mean, you could say blockchain is fact because it's already encoded, cannot be hacked. There's
True.
So yeah, exactly. Truth, right? So it's almost the same kind of thing, I would think. So I guess in my mind, when you say consensus of truth, it's a consensus of the whole.
It's a consensus in itself. Consensus is just majority. Consensus is majority.
Okay.
I guess what I have trouble with is something could be true whether or not there's a consensus or a belief about it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing as like certain history books currently, where they purposely omit that Filipinos and the Vietnamese were helping build the railroads, and they like didn't let the women come. So the men that were here
in the U.S.
From what I've heard, I haven't done hard.
Wait, they give the Chinese all the credit for the railroads, and they cut out the Viets and the Filipinos.
Wait a second.
Yeah. They didn't let the men. They didn't let women come. They didn't let women come. So the men died out. There was no lineage.
Yeah.
So there's no history to it too, and they took that out of the history books. No, anyway, sorry. So what I'm saying is history itself is what is true.
Well, I'm gonna guess to a cowboy dude in the railroad times, they probably all look Chinese, right? He probably just thought of them all as Chinese.
Yeah.
Is there really some conspiracy or some effort to legitimately not give credit to Vietnamese and Filipino, presumably indentured?
No, I think it seems it's just on par with the American way to forget and not accept, to forget the harm that was done and not accept it, I guess, to just glaze it over and forget about it.
See, but now I should have a half racial generational trauma anytime I see a railroad.
Yeah, what is the difference then if you just have a regular consensus, though, right?
Okay.
Just a consensus.
You're getting serious.
Yeah, consensus and then consensus of truth. Like, what's the difference between the two? Like, what would be the difference? Like, if you have a consensus, that's pretty much going to be the truth anyways. So why can't you just say consensus?
Well, look, we could all agree that there's some beers in the fridge. Because like, oh yeah, I was in the fridge. I saw you bring them back, right? The three of us were sitting here like, we agree there's some beers in the fridge. We know there's some beers in the fridge. Mm-hmm. While we're doing this podcast, somebody came and took the beers. We could be in consensus and be totally missing the truth. The truth is somebody took them while we weren't looking.
So how can that be validated then?
Well, at least on blockchain wise with all the mining services. So it's whatever you would build around. It depends on what you build. So it's possible that the truth that you let that system be the truth of, then you all agree.
Are there any
you need a beer checking algorithm?
Yeah, that's
in
what
your programmable.
Yeah, I mean, even coming from like an audit background, right? Is there an organization that would just be like, hey, I'm running through these white papers. Oh, like the truth is not real. Like this is a false truth. I mean, is there something out there where there are people out like, hey, this blockchain or what it can do or whatever it is, there's some, doesn't check off the checklist for this, particular, what the truth might be, what they say it might be.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it'd be humans having to build that use case on that blockchain. So if some set of people were to build an identity blockchain and everyone agrees that is the identity truth, but it would be tailored towards identity. Now, that identity blockchain wouldn't be for the beer. It wouldn't know anything about beer or care about anything about the beer. So I would just say it'd be depending on the blockchain and what it's built for.
I see. Yeah, that's true.
No, but Earl's saying who's checking the system that you trust so much.
Yeah.
It'd have to be for the identity one. What I would do,
No, for a normal blockchain now.
but you can't build. You're trying to say like build one blockchain to do everything in the universe.
No, I'm
No.
just saying.
No. I'm just that's what I'm hearing. So you'd have to build each blockchain for the use.
That's your own truth. That's not what he was trying to say.
No. Yeah. I was just wondering if there was somebody out there that would be more of like doing a compliance on the blockchains themselves.
Well, that's the beauty of the mining servers. They are the consensus. Like if someone if someone hacks the miners or their algorithm, then you have a problem. But that's the beauty of blockchain, because that's where they're talking about like accountants may lose a lot of there may be a lot of accountants that lose their job, because with blockchain, what are you counting? You know every penny that went out.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it.
No, I would answer your question as in there's no oversight
No.
on
Okay.
say a particular cryptocurrency, right? There's a cryptocurrency and it has its blockchain of transactions. There is no power over it. There's no auditing. There's no oversight.
Is it all just open source normally?
It's open source and anybody can view it.
Okay.
So there are, I think, researchers and kind of watchdog people, but not in a power sense, but there are nerds who are reading the blockchain.
Yeah.
And they would notice if something funky was happening. It is distributed, so in general, you would need more than 50% of your nodes or miners to make up this new, even one transaction that's bogus. So there's a very strong built-in defense against bogus transactions or, editing history or anything like that.
How does that work out with what's going on within the mining space in like China and, even in here in the States? I mean,
Are you saying China's dirty and they cheat?
They might have no. I'm saying they probably have over 50% of mining capability of Bitcoin, I would think. I'm not 100% sure, but what is it? Do you guys know?
From my I might be slightly wrong on this. They hardware wise, shoot, I don't even know
because they're ever expanding too, right?
I'm gonna yeah. I don't think that they hold 50% in hardware. What they do set up, I believe, is they do have pools. Pools are, say I have a company that has a lot of miners. Gosh, this is going to be a long explanation. I'll try to.
It's okay.
A lot of servers?
If that one company has a lot of servers, by the way that you get when you get rewards, you sort of get more chances the bigger your pool is. So what they say is they open up like ports to their servers and say, if you have mining servers, you could join in and we'll cut you a piece of the reward, because as a whole we get more. So what happened is one of the Chinese companies that has a lot of miners, they open up most mining companies open up their ports to do these pools. And this one pool in China, I might have this all wrong, but I hope I'm understanding it correctly. One pool in China is more than 50%.
I did not know that. Because they take on board other people that want
around the world.
I got you.
Yeah. And I'm probably helping them with my miners, but I mean, I see. So I think
what creates a pool?
Just the group, that company just says, hey, we have a bunch of miners.
I see.
And the more people we get and the more rewards we get. I don't understand the math behind that, because the more it does, I thought it scales evenly where it doesn't matter if you're big or small, but supposedly the math is to the bigger pools get slightly more rewards.
So it's skewed a little bit.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I'm not sure.
Or they tricked you into using their pool.
Yeah. Possibly.
That's true too.
So now I think the interesting thing that you're trying to bring up, I think most people think about is, if China holds more than 50% of this, does it hurt us?
Yeah. Does the consensus of truth change?
It's the...
Oh, it's making you squirm.
it is a good question, because if they hold more than 50%,
yeah,
then they could potentially I think no, because they'd have to get their software. So I don't know their percentage. I think, okay, so if they hold more than 50% of the pool in one pool, but they might only hold 30% of that hardware. So they only have access to 30% to hack their own servers. They'd have to hack the software. Then they'd have to get the other 20% globally and get that software on every other miner that's in their pool.
So having the pool is different than controlling the
Blockchain itself.
The
piece,
miners.
the miners, yeah, the confirmations that come out of those miners.
Mm.
So if you had a giant pool in your backyard that was full of kids, you could have all the kids, but could you get them to tell the same lie?
I see. Because each one would still have their own voting power.
Right, and
Okay.
their own motives and motivations.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Each kid will have their own parent, and that parent might be down
I
the
see.
road or
So
whatever.
so it's just they only use the pool to process, not necessarily vote.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And to
Makes
pee in. Because you want to be running in the house to pee. You're going to miss all the fun.
Oh yeah.
Now
I'm not going back at that pool, bro.
I see it in America where they try to stand up some of these pools and mining. I don't even know mining farms. There's a lot of companies in America is trying to set up mining farms. China has the mining farms. I don't know who has a lot more than the other. I hear America is getting close, but I could be wrong. Maybe China's still far ahead. I don't know.
I've heard a lot about also the power consumption of having Bitcoin and how much it takes to actually keep it running. Is that a concern in the long term?
I think so. I think
No, because we have unlimited power.
Oh, everybody goes solar, right? Something like
We have
that.
all this
I don't
coal
know.
to burn.
you don't hear politicians pushing for miners, huh? I mean, if they're for using natural gas or coal,
What?
like politicians that are for.
Oh, I mean, they're too old, and there's no lobby for cryptocurrency
Not yet.
people yet. Yeah, well, because there's no corporation
Oh, that's true.
that's collecting enough money to buy a politician.
Unless you're Coinbase now. Just kidding.
Rich motherfucker.
But
Yeah.
wouldn't there be? I don't know enough about it.
Politicians are responsive to lobbyists and rich people. They're not responsive to
The average man.
the average man or the world around them or anything
That's
but money.
true.
But
That's true.
when these gas companies have lobbyists, so the gas company would want to push for cryptocurrency mining.
Conceivably. I mean,
Yes,
they're
electric.
probably very old fashioned.
They probably don't even think about it.
Yeah, the power station's been there 50 years, and there are probably more pressing concerns like, oh shit, Texas just went down in an ice storm. So they probably have their old fashioned ways of doing things and ways to make money, and they've probably got enough problems without.
How would blockchain even be implemented in a gas kind of environment anyways? Like,
Gas. I was just thinking gas and electricity. I didn't really mean to throw in gas in there, but the electric companies, I would think they would like mining farms.
for the question. Yeah.
I think earlier your question was electricity use on miners because they're using so much electricity.
Yeah.
I think that I don't know where the graphs are on power usage and Bitcoin, how much electricity to use and what benefit we actually get from Bitcoin itself, the usage, because it'll probably get to the point where if one transaction that you want to send $5, but the electricity is $4, that's just stupid. It should be less than micro pennies for the electricity. So to me, that's a concern. Because why would someone want to send, if it got bad enough where it's to pay for a $5 coffee and then it's $3 in Bitcoin fees, that would be stupid. Why would you pay $8 for a coffee, $8 for a $5 coffee? So hopefully with proof of stake, that's where I think the future is. I think proof of stake is the future, which proof of stake is it uses much less electricity. That goes into a different paradigm shift. So we have proof of work, which is GPUs and CPUs, and you got to buy the hardware and it crunches out. Okay. But really, people still have to buy. There's money buying that. So say a decent miner probably costs like $5,000 maybe for a single one, I'm guessing. I mean, some people could say probably $2,000, whatever, but let's just say $5,000 for a decent one. If you go stake, a lot of these proof of stake ones like Ethereum is currently probably $65,000 to stake. So you get a lower end PC that only costs like probably $1,000 maybe, but you have to have $65,000 worth of ETH to stake. There's I have to go into what proof of stake and proof.
Are you losing the audience?
Yeah.
No, you're good.
So there's a mechanism for proof of work if you have the computer hardware, and there's a mechanism for proof of stake that is quicker, but people have to have a lot of money to stake. So
Is it like a certain amount of ETH they have to have? 33 ETH or
32?
something?
Yep.
32.
So I would put it this way. Yes, currently something like Bitcoin requires a lot of computers around the world and a lot of electricity burning to process these transactions. So yeah, it's a major concern for Bitcoin. But there are other cryptocurrencies that are or are moving towards a different method of verifying those transactions that is more efficient and doesn't burn as much electricity. You don't have thousands of processors around the world to run a transaction.
I'm just curious too. Another question I think I might have.
Ask away.
Yeah. Well, I know Bitcoin
Liem loves this.
Yeah. Bitcoin is more like storage of value right now, right? So that's what they believe it to be. Yeah.
was that?
I think people buy it more for speculation right now.
Yeah. So when do you believe like it might transition over to what the coin is actually used for, and then like I guess the values actually become more meaningless, and then the use case actually becomes more of why they want to purchase it? You know,
I don't know.
So for Bitcoin, there's nothing that says it has to be useful.
yes, that's right.
So people are just buying it because they want to buy it. They think it's going to go up in value.
Yes,
Aside from that, it may just be that forever.
yes,
If you want to be able to use cryptocurrency to buy your cup of coffee, then there are other coins trying to maximize for that activity. If you want to use cryptocurrency as money in a video game, there are cryptocurrencies that are trying to maximize for that use case.
I see.
So will Bitcoin ever do all those things? Probably not, because it's the original coin, and it's just not it's not coded. It doesn't have the architecture to do any of those things really well.
But cryptocurrency in general, there's two different types, right? There's one more of storage value, and the other one was like more of a work coin, right? That's what
I would just label it kind of to the usage. There's
coins to try to help you anonymize your identity. There are coins that what's that?
Monero, like other ones.
There's coins that are like I bet you there's going to be all kinds of NFT coins coming.
Yeah.
They won't make any sense or anything, but
You don't think so?
well, I mean, you're just going to do it because it's popular, right?
Not necessarily. I think there's a use case behind it. Yeah.
Well, because people are buying NFTs.
Yeah, they're actually, I think there's a space for digital collectibles. And I think that might be a space that might entice more users, as in like digital artists.
Yeah, I mean, it's undeniable because so much money is already transacted there.
So, I mean, I think the use case, that's what I wanted to get into too, as well as like,
If you invented an NFT coin right now, it would you'd almost slam dunk.
yeah.
People will go buy it because it says NFT on it.
Yeah. But you don't believe in it in itself though?
No, well, so if you talk about a use case, I don't know how useful it is for people to buy digital collectibles.
Like how we used to do baseball cards and everything else, right? And
But the difference is if you had the Tony Gwynn card, you physically have the Tony Gwynn card.
that's true.
And this is before the internet. So nobody else saw your Tony Gwynn card. You were like, I know his batting average,
Yeah.
right? And there was only 200 of them printed, and most of them are gone. So you have one of the 3 left, right? So that's a little more tangible. If you bought the first tweet that ever got tweeted out.
Jack Dorsey made an NFT off his one tweet.
Okay, so say you bought the tweet, right? And
Yeah.
you have it. Well, I can just go, I already know what it is. I can go copy it. I can.
But on the blockchain, it's like specified to that one particular tweet in itself, where you cannot replicate that.
It's okay. I
specific
could have
one.
a copy of it on every one of my computers and my cell phone. I could text it to everybody every day.
That's true, but
I could retweet that tweet.
you wouldn't have the original though.
But how do you have the original?
Only based on what I consider the truth.
So that's the hokey part for me is that
Yeah.
I don't understand having.
Well, say like these video games, right? Like Counter-Strike or whatever it is, right? They
Right.
have a whole
I think
bunch
that's
of skins.
where it would
Yeah.
probably have a where it would be more popular, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So like in Counter-Strike, they have like these knives that like these colorful knives and guns. They're just skins. That's all they are. So
Yeah.
the game plays exactly the same.
Right.
But if you play enough, you get a chance to unlock these skins on the guns and the knives. And they have like these shiny knives that are like, they sell for
So much money sometimes.
$5,000. I'm not sure if it's $5,000 or $500, but
Yeah.
they sell for a lot of money.
Even 500. That's
Yeah.
for a digital knife.
For a knife that only, well, as that character runs around, your character, if you have that $500 knife, other people will see, oh, dude, that guy has a $500 knife.
Yeah.
Everybody else is running around with a 7-cent knife. Not that it matters, but people will spend $500
Yeah.
for those things. So
It's that plastic butter butter knife. It's like, I got you, bro.
I'd rather have the plastic knife. But I think that's where it'll be the difference on the two things that you were talking about. You guys are talking about. I think in a virtual world, if you have a person, whether it be in a video game or something, and other people see you as an entity, and you have that shiny knife, that shiny hat, the shiny clothes, people are all into that.
Yeah.
Like video games is nuts.
Yeah.
World of Warcraft is all about decking out
for
the
sure.
colors on your character. Sims, there's just so much money. I mean, even Fortnite, there's just probably thousands of dollars people spend on their costume and their.
Yeah.
It's a free to play game.
Kids stealing like parents' credit cards to purchase stuff, you know.
It's crazy. Free to play, but then people are spending thousands on the pants, the shirt that they're
So they're deriving more entertainment and more enjoyment and value in that virtual arena than in real life, right?
Yeah.
Because in this game, I'm somebody. I'm badass master 3
But in real life,
with my kill ratio record.
Yeah.
Right. And in real life, I'm just a schlub. Right. I mean, not to.
I didn't say
not
that
to-
now.
Sorry.
You
I mean,
way more than that, bro.
you chumps, get out of the couch. Go outside and do a push-up.
Nah, but yeah, I mean, that's where I kind of gear like my mindset towards. There's like, I mean, cryptocurrency in itself, and I think the NFT space. I mean, for me, my understanding of what an NFT is, I know it's a non-fungible token from what I know. Anyways, I don't know a whole lot about it, but I believe it's like putting a copyright on a particular digital asset. And that in itself is showing you that authenticity for that particular digital asset in itself. So like you said, if that person had that knife, like glow in the dark or something, you know, and he had the only one, there's only one, you know, and that NFT
you didn't tell me it was glow in the dark.
You're like,
I'm in now.
Yeah. So something like that. I don't know. I just see there's so much more possibilities in my mind when it comes to that. But I don't know, like how, you know, it's not mainstream like a lot of things are with cryptocurrency, but the possibilities are kind of endless. That's what I think. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't argue against NFTs being popular. I'm just saying I personally don't understand high valuations on things that can be copied.
Oh, over and over again.
Yeah, it's not even like you have the original and you're not letting anybody copy it. This is something that's already out there. Sorry, already many copies exist.
I see.
So
Like, have you heard of, I mean, one of the bigger ones I believe that was out. Have you heard of Omi Coin?
No.
Oh.
No.
So their Omi Coin has an app called VV app, and they have a license with like NFL, Ghostbusters is on there, Back to the Future, Tokidoki, a whole bunch of different licenses. On their app, you can actually purchase something for augmented reality. They actually came out with a DeLorean just recently, where you can actually park the DeLorean outside.
But through your augmented
reality,
Okay.
like even on your phone or whatever, and you just be like, "Oh, look, I got the DeLorean."
Okay.
And then I think it's like, I mean, for me, it's like, damn, I want that DeLorean though, you know, even though it's fake or whatever it is, it's not real.
Is it
not
a time
tangible.
traveling DeLorean?
I don't know. Maybe past 66 was it?
88.
88 miles per hour.
I would pay for the one that had the fusion power plant in the back.
They do. They have it. Yeah. Yeah, but those are like the kind of concepts in my mind where it's like, wow, this is actually becoming real in, you know, an app store, and like people are actually purchasing these things. I mean, I'm not quite sure, you know, where the NFT part comes into play, like how the token works in itself. There's a burn rate, there's other things on there. I'm not quite sure how viable it is. We need that compliance review on it, but I don't know. It's just different.
So I think the idea is when it says non-fungible token, it just means that it's unique, and you can't really exchange it equal parts. This token represents this DeLorean, so it has its own value. You can't trade it for the next NFT because they have different values. So the idea behind a currency is that each piece of a currency has the same value, and any Ethereum is worth any other Ethereum, more or less, right?
My theory on it, I don't know. I theorize that the token for that, say that DeLorean, you have your identity, whether it be a wallet or whatever your account on that blockchain is, and now it's tied that DeLorean to your account. So that's all.
Yeah.
So somebody else that has these green Nike shoes, they have that on their account. I could trade the DeLorean for the Nike shoes, but I wouldn't do that. But anyways, it's just that ID is unique. So it's the same thing that you were kind of saying, but I think it's tied to that identity. That's the only
But
thing.
it's funny because it's really just how you look at it. Like, you bought this DeLorean that you can virtually project in your driveway.
Yeah.
Right. So would it be any different than buying a video game that only you can play? It's kind of what you just did, right?
Kind of, sort of. I mean, a lot of people are on that app. Well, I don't know. It's gaining traction a little bit, I think. I mean, enough where users are downloading it and buying it, and it gets sold out.
You know, stuff doesn't have to make sense for it to be popular.
That's true. Like CryptoKitties, right? It's almost like,
Yeah.
I would almost consider that almost like an NFT in the beginning. No? Yeah? Almost the same? Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. Does it make sense? Not really. But people are willing to pay a ton of money for it sometimes.
I have a theory that is totally unsubstantiated, but that people who have cryptocurrency are just desperate for something to buy. Like, they're not really trying to buy a cup of coffee with it because I can just go buy a cup of coffee.
No Lambos?
With the other money I have, right? So if you have enough money for a Lambo, you go buy a Lambo, right? But they're so excited about cryptocurrency that when you present something new, oh, this is a real thing you can buy in cryptocurrency in the crypto world on a blockchain or something. I think that excitement kind of overtakes any rational ideas.
Yes. Yeah, I think so. Especially in such a new space. Everything's new. They want the new, right? They just want anything.
But I bet younger generations are much more apt to spend on virtual things than I would.
Yeah.
Did you were you also tying in? So, say some of those people bought, say, if it's an NFT on Ethereum, so someone bought Ethereum when it was $3 a coin.
Yeah.
Are you saying those people, because they have so much of that Ethereum, they're like, oh yeah, I'll buy $10,000 NFT on a DeLorean?
Yeah, certainly anybody that's crypto rich would gleefully piss it away the way a rich person would piss away money on things they don't need.
Yeah.
Right. So, in their head, they probably attribute their success and their richness to cryptocurrency and blockchain. So they're even more happy to spend it in that space than in the real world, I would think.
Yeah, it's weird how this one works, though. I don't know how it works with other ones, but you can purchase them with money, like, and then it's in the back end where the coin itself, the Omi coin, gets burned. So every I believe dollar that's spent, the equivalent in Omi gets burned. And then I believe, I don't know, I'm lost in it in itself. You probably would have to look at the white paper in order for you to get a better understanding of how it works.
Do the Omi coins go up in value?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, it's an interesting thing though. But NFTs in itself is just an interesting realm in itself. I mean,
if they get really popular and sell a whole bunch of stuff, won't they end up burning all their coins?
They actually have a buyback on exchanges on top of that.
You unburn it, or you get it before it burns?
They buy back from the exchange. I don't know how it works. Yeah, like have to look at the white paper to find out. Yeah, but it's an interesting concept. I mean, it seems, I mean, is there right now a cryptocurrency in itself? I know it seems like so many different white papers, so many different ones in itself, where you feel like this is like the golden blockchain in itself.
Yeah,
Ethereum.
totally.
Ethereum.
Yeah.
For now.
Yeah. I mean, what's the difference between Ethereum and like, say, like Cardano, where I know there was a whole bunch of like scientific.
Yep, that's a good point. So both are, well, Ethereum 1.0 currently is proof of work.
Okay.
Ethereum 2.0 that comes out in probably a year or two, maybe.
Okay.
Somewhere a year or three. I don't,
With some delays.
Yeah. Ethereum 2 will be proof of stake, and I believe Cardano is currently proof of stake. But from my understanding, Cardano isn't fully out in production too. I might be wrong on that, but I think they're not fully out in production.
What do you mean? What happens when they are in production?
So like they want to be, from my understanding, they want to be ready to support the masses and all the applications that everybody wants to build.
Interesting.
And I think I might be wrong. I think Cardano isn't ready to take on masses of companies building games on top of their blockchain, but also Ethereum 2.0 is not even out in production either. So that's where I think proof of stake right now, I think that's the future. And in my opinion, there's Ethereum 2.0, Cardano, Harmony 1, Solana. There might be one. There's probably one more. I think there's 5 that are kind of
in the realm,
in the race. And I hope, if I had to pick one, like you said, if I had to pick one, it would be Ethereum.
What's preventing? Has it been delayed so many times? The upgrade in itself. What's making the delay in
from
Ethereum 2.0?
My understanding is it's just software, meaning software typically you get developers, you get project managers, you get marketing people, you get business analysts that come in and say, oh, we want to build it for this. And they're like, oh, we didn't set up for that. Let us go back to the drawing board or whatever. Mm-hmm. Or somebody in the team says, oh, I just thought of something else that would really help. And they pitch the idea, and all of a sudden, to build that module takes 6 more months. Oh, so wow. It's just software.
Okay.
Or you start building it and you run into a problem.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
So you just want to hash it all out before they actually implement it.
Yep.
Okay. Interesting.
Well, especially if it's a currency.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Presumably you own some, or the programmer owns some.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't want to totally fuck it up, because then you devalue your own holding.
That's true.
I would presume.
Like I think way back we were talking about cryptocurrency and Ethereum, and you had mentioned there's a possibility where you can see like Web 3.0 or 2.0 or whatever you would want to call it. Do you think the change in the web itself, like how web actually got out? I mean, would cryptocurrency have an influence on that?
I actually, this is sci-fi stuff. So okay. I think this would be
far out. Yeah.
It'd be really cool. Mesh internet with blockchain. Oh, it's actually, the idea sounds so cool. So
yeah. No, for real. It does.
So
it's getting an internet boner right now.
So you would have
an audience.
You would have the
tablecloth is moving.
Yeah. Wear your mask and goggles.
You would need one person that sets up a short range laser, which is about I think less than a mile, and then that one person. So say a mile out, you got let's say your house and my house is here. And then we would shoot the laser at each other, and they would be able to communicate super fast, high speed. Okay. And then this network, this community here would pay for my internet to your internet. Anytime they hit someone's website on your network, they pay you and me.
With lasers.
So the technology is actually possible right now. Like before, like go back 5 or 10 years, these lasers, I think it's lasers. I might be slightly wrong on that. These
microwaves?
I don't know. I just know that they used to be like $10,000-$20,000.
Okay.
Now they come down to like $2,000. So you're talking about $2,000. I mean, it is pricey, but someone that wants to do a mesh internet blockchain, that'd be
okay.
Mesh.
So for the viewers, can I clarify? I think what you're talking about is, instead of using the internet that we currently use, which what did we start? We started plugging into phone lines,
Yeah.
and it's pretty much the same companies running those data lines now, right? You can do fiber optic or whatever telecommunications, but in your house, you got to plug into something. So I think what you're talking about is skip that network, and if you can transmit from your roof and get enough people transmitting to each other, then you can create a new web of communication and computers. So
Exactly.
a way for individual computers to all connect.
Is Elon is Elon into something with Starlink? Is that could that have a
No, I don't.
We should explain for anybody listening to the podcast. I just knocked over my drink. Is why the Muppet noises happened.
That wasn't me getting a boner over a mesh internet.
Whoa.
And then he threw out
shook
satellites.
the table? What you got under there?
Everything's fine. I'm not drunk.
That does take it to the next level, but Starlink is centralized by SpaceX and Elon.
That's true.
So unless Elon somewhat,
Yeah, so he
Integrates blockchain into his Starlink, that'd be freaking crazy.
yeah,
So he did throw up his own alternate network, his own web to be able to communicate,
Yeah.
but he owns it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as long as you trust the company or trust the owner, then you're good. But I think Liem's moving towards decentralized.
decentralized internet. It'd be
That sounds so mind-boggling in
it's
my
freaking.
mind.
The idea sounds so awesome. It would be so cool because you would have redundant systems built everywhere. Because say your house and my house, we have a laser to each other, but then say Emmett's house over here would have a laser, and he's close to me, but then we both have enough money to pay for that $2,000 laser. So if I go down, then he still has his up. So it's a redundant network.
So in a city, it's clearly conceivable.
Mhm.
You probably have some more trouble as people spread out,
The rural areas.
I would think.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then the rural areas, what you could do is say someone's willing to front out that $2,000, they could charge a different fee on their, so that each laser, each person that has that, I forget what it's called. It's like a WAN, maybe wide area network. Whoever's the owner of that WAN gets to set up their fees.
Or if I can get a laser bazooka, then I could shoot it further and reach the guy that's out at the farm, right?
Maybe North Korea even. Just kidding.
No, are they in the gang? Are we embargoing?
allowing?
Is it North Korea allowed in the party?
No lasers, only Sharknado ones. Just kidding.
Well, if the sharks all have lasers, then when you're on your submarine, then you can get a good signal.
So jumping back to that mesh thing.
Jumping back to serious.
So in that scenario, say me and Emmett have, I have a laser pointed at you and Emmett has a laser pointed at you, and there's somebody right in the middle between me and Emmett, and they want to get to a website that's on your WAN.
Okay.
So then me and Emmett would have to compete on price. I would say my data plans are X pennies per kilobyte or whatever it is, and then Emmett's like, no, mine's a penny less. So that user would then choose which WAN to go from and pay for.
I would also offer them free DeLorean pictures.
I'm in.
You can have JPEG or PNG, whichever you
You
prefer.
just create the NFT and then distribute
It's
it.
just, it's like a cookie. It's a prize. Like, oh, you chose my laser. Here's a
JPEG. Yeah. My DeLorean.
We can animate it. It would be a little dancing.
Yeah. On my driveway. I don't know. Yeah, I mean that's so crazy though. I the concept of it of like a web 3.0 though in my mind is just, I mean I could see how it can help benefit, and I guess with web right now there's so many inefficiencies. And in blockchain, I mean it's efficient. I mean it's coded in there, everything else, and if you can have the web work out of it, in my mind, I just don't like conceptually. It's hard to fathom because it's so big and so wide. It's the World Wide Web, But at the same time, like if it's possible, like you can integrate the two.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
It's not
like there's stuff
incredible.
like
Is there anybody within that space right now? Like even looking, like even
Whoever makes that equipment, right?
Ricky. He might be the closest. And I was kind of telling him mesh internet, and he's like, yeah, that's what he does, sort of. But it's still, his backbone still goes out to the government. So he's, he made it sound like he was one of the last nodes to the main backbone from the government. So the government still owns the main backbone of the internet. Like someone built all the wires under the ground.
Okay.
And someone owns that, which is the government. So my understanding is like Cox Communication, Time Warner, they have to rent that hardware from the government to use it. So
interesting. I never knew that.
So if we get mesh, it will be a natural supply and demand for whoever supplies the best, cheapest internet, or the best, because then there might be privacy data too. Like if Emmett's like taking someone's users data and they find out like Liem doesn't steal their advertising data, so then they might choose me even though I'm more pricey, but then Emmett might be cheaper.
No, they'll be too busy looking at their cool Dorian gift.
You guys know I would be. Yeah. Shiny.
But that's way far out. I wish I could see that in our timeline, and
well, it's also impossible to guess the details, because if you go back in time and roll forward to now, nobody would have guessed where we are currently. Because I read a lot of sci-fi novels to fall asleep, and they'll, if you go too far back, say you read a 50s sci-fi novel, like, oh, there's this magical box, you just put your food in there, and then 10 seconds later it's hot.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, well, we blew right past that, right? So what they don't predict is something like people want to eat food with no weed in it. So the reality is stranger than the fiction.
What do you mean?
Like, how many gluten-free products?
Oh, no, weed. I thought you meant weed. I thought you said weed. I was like, give me an edible.
Who would have guessed people want food with weed in it, right?
Yeah. Like,
how far back do you have to go before it's inconceivable that, people want to buy these gummy bears and have weed in it?
Never thought about that before.
Yeah,
a long time ago.
So you can guess where stuff's going, but in the end, you may end up in a similar place, but it more likely is such a weird place.
That's true. Yeah.
It doesn't seem weird because we're here.
Yeah.
But we carry supercomputers around in our pocket.
That's true.
Yeah. So
you just never know. Yeah. I'm looking forward to what's going to happen. I have faith in it, like where blockchain's going to be and everything else. I mean, yeah, there's just the use cases all over the place and everything else. And I mean, I don't know. I mean,
maybe one just connected to this, kind of exactly what you're saying anyways, like TikTok. If someone told me 15 years ago,
well, you gotta pick on my favorite app, dude,
that a 15-second video is going to be one of the most high grossing type of entertainment forms, and it's owned by China, and I would have 15 years ago, I wouldn't have guessed. I would have thought, I don't know what I would have thought MP3s was the future, I guess.
I feel bad for Vine. Like, I don't know why they're not blowing up TikTok headquarters every day. No, like literally.
Did they kick? Yeah.
Like go down there with a truckload of bombs.
That was a sad day.
If I was the Vine guy, whoever that is, I don't know the stories. I'm just making shit up. But if I was the guy who had Vine and didn't make it, and then you're watching TikTok go ape shit, I would be so psychotically pissed. Because I think they're the same thing, right? Like basically.
Yeah, short clips.
Yeah. I think the only thing is just TikTok, just the user interface, really, as far as I could put together, is the biggest difference.
The content. It's about the content, right? What's on it?
No, I think they're similar.
You're saying the usability of it on the
the user interface, the sliding, and actually TikTok goes to the point. As soon as you install TikTok, it just starts playing a video. It doesn't even like ask you your name or email address, and then it kind of basically records. If you watch that for 3 seconds, or someone that watches for 5 seconds, the next videos are going to be different because how long each person. So that's as simple as it is. How long your fingers took to swipe away from that video to swipe to the next video.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Didn't know that. Like what it would cue in a different video
from
depending on the length of what you watch.
Yeah.
Well, I know Instagram only shows me bikini models. I don't know. I don't know what it's thinking. That it thinks I want to see that all the time.
Is that AI working for you or against you? I don't know.
I go there for scientific content.
Yeah.
And
let me get on that, whatever algorithm that is. Yeah, let me get on that. I had a question though, also like like even within the crypto realm, right? Like even big picture, everything else, right? So like if web came, web and everything else, like how does it mesh with government? Or how does it not mesh with government? Because decentralized is non-governmental, does it not?
Yeah. But we have gun rights.
Yes. How would that?
They can't control our guns. I would say this. The IRS already wants to tax you on your cryptocurrency.
Sure.
So, that tells me it's money already. If the IRS wants to tax it, it must be money.
Oh, yes.
And if the IRS is taxing it, the government's aware of it and is okay with what it currently is.
I mean,
More or less.
like their oversight on it, though. You know what I mean? Like even not only just on the monetary side of things, but say like within the space of another web. You know what I mean? Like
why
you
are
had
you always
mentioned.
looking for Big Brother, man? You're trying to get us locked down.
It's always a bigger picture in my mind because you were saying like web, right? They had created the infrastructure of the web and everybody actually needs to buy into it. So like where would that fit in within the blockchain space, as well as like when web 3.0 comes out or something?
As humans and society, it's just society. We tend to just kind of evolve society. So I see things will change, but I don't see we're not going to evolve into some super futuristic society because of blockchain. We could, but I think people are just going to be slow. Like how government is so slow to take on, like even when they're dealing with Uber, it seemed like they were pretty slow dealing with Uber and Lyft. I don't know if you guys remember. I think back during the early days of Uber and Lyft, they didn't know how to deal with insurance and these people are driving cars that wasn't an employee of the company. I mean, even today, I think there's
still an issue. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think blockchain will just be an evolving thing. If you're aiming towards, do I think that blockchain will like overthrow a government? I think it will cause government to have to hopefully be better.
No, it's good. Yeah.
I totally hope for it, but I don't.
Suckers.
I think blockchain is ultimately a tool, though. It's a great, fantastic, amazing tool that we've never had, but it's up to people to utilize it.
Was your original question, how is the government gonna crack down on it?
No, not necessarily. I'm just thinking what kind of I guess oversight too will they have over it? You know what I mean? Like the web, like you were talking about, the web right now was built on the infrastructure that the government had made. So what kind of influence would they have, or what kind of structure would be made in order for them to have some type of influence? I guess at the same time.
I don't think they would. I don't think. Blockchain is like genie's out of the bottle once it's built. Like you can't turn it off.
That's awesome. Yeah.
If the government found something that was atrociously just bad for that government, then I think they're just going to tell their citizens, hey guys, this is really bad. We need to not use it. But I think if there's nothing like...
Do you always think they'd find a way to monetize it though? That's what I'm thinking.
So yeah, I would say two things. One is that when you say the government, there's not one the government. We have a federal government, which is probably the closest thing to what you're talking about. But even something like Uber, that was in contrast to taxi licensing laws and employee insurance laws. So those are kind of state things or local things. So there's so many layers of government that there's probably not a coherent thought or strategy in the whole idea of the government. It's this giant beast. Actually, I think I looked up, there's some staggering number of U.S. citizens are employed by some form of the government.
Oh, I'm sure.
Right? Yeah. I forget what the number was, but it was a shockingly large.
Like percentage-wise?
Yeah, there's a huge percentage of everybody works for the government somehow, right? So, I used to know a guy that worked at the marriage office. Ernie. He used to, so he worked
What's up, Ernie?
He worked for the government, right? Directly. That's not including subcontractors. And if Dan's watching in San Diego, well, you know what I'm talking. Inside jokes we got. But so that's one caution I would say about trying to predict what the government's going to do is that there's all kinds of different government. the other thing I would say is that our government is motivated by profit.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to guess what's going to happen, just guess what's most profitable.
Yeah, monetizing it somehow. That's what I'm thinking. Is like they're gonna have to want to monetize it somehow. Like I don't know.
We as citizens are too stupid to vote for smart people. Like, for example, I pay property taxes. Where does it go? Like, what are you paying for with the property taxes? I'm thinking like roads and schools and stuff.
That's what I was thinking.
But I don't really know. Yeah. And then, is it spent efficiently? Probably not. Most certainly not.
You can ask your senator.
Right. So and that's just me. So you multiply that times a million people who don't know the answer to that question and aren't going to put in the homework to
look it into.
Yeah. Go, hey, look, our money's getting wasted.
Yeah.
Like here in Vegas, there's a freeway that goes around town. Over on the east side, the 515.
Mm-hmm.
If you get near Flamingo and Sunset, there's some suspiciously long on ramps. It's like, why did this on-ramp go over here and then back under the freeway and like an S, and it's like a quarter mile later that I'm getting on the freeway? Like, it seems like the normal right turn could have got me on the freeway.
That's just an extra quarter mile for that third gear pull. Like
so you wind up and and jump into traffic.
Yeah.
Well, so I wonder, is there some contractor who got paid many millions of dollars more to build this Disneyland on-ramp?
Yeah. I mean, they just dumped how much into infrastructure? About $2 to $3 trillion.
Well, I'm okay with it, but I suspect that it's not being spent. So I think we need more auditors.
To look into whatever it is.
Yeah, I think in federal government, there's the General Accounting Office that's supposed to oversight and say, is there money being stolen or wasted? So I think we need more of that because...
And then who audits the auditors afterwards?
Yeah, I would settle for step one.
Yeah, I know, for real.
I'll settle for step one.
I don't know. That's like it's just mind boggling. Like even just thinking about certain things or where things can get, headed, I guess, when you think about government and then I guess blockchain, How about another question? What is it? Where do you think that blockchain has the ability to change social behavior, and how do you think it might?
I think not really. I feel like kind of what Emmett said earlier. Human beings are just
we're so stupid.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it has changed what Americans do so far, right?
In the sense where?
Well, I mean, we buy cryptocurrency and we go buy a piece of art with it.
Yes, you're right.
The latest fad.
That's true. That is true.
So I don't know what you mean by changing behavior.
Yeah, I guess that would be one thing for sure. I mean,
I would add in just for the heck of it. I don't know. I mean, this might be a little bit due to the internet, but anyways, like when Venezuela, when they're having their financial problems. So I saw so much on the Reddit cryptocurrency community sending thousands and thousands of dollars to help families buy rice and bread and flour. Mm-hmm. And it's so touching where you're talking about a community that's usually about profit. That's cryptocurrency. Not too many people get involved. Not a whole lot get involved. It seems like not a whole lot get involved for some type of altruistic reasons, because cryptocurrency has the word currency in there, so people get involved that way. But
I see
on that cryptocurrency thread, it was amazing to see how many people are sending money. It was literally heart touching. So now I don't know if that's answering your question on how does it affect people mentally and their actions and stuff. Maybe that's more maybe certain Americans that have money, that have cryptocurrency, are able now to have a way to send it directly to help people. Whereas before it was kind of like Western Union, and you'd have to trust someone freaking.
No, you'd get like an infomercial with some starving kids, and then you'd send your money off to some strange organization.
Yeah, and then that kid gets like freaking like 2% of it.
So maybe it's it's more of a direct kind of link. Yeah, I mean that's definitely a social behavior change. You know what I mean? So, when you know where the money's going directly to that, I guess, wallet or whatever you would want to, I mean, it sounds like, I mean, I kind of get like how Venmo, is kind of like that, but you still use Venmo as
No, that's more like if you owe somebody for half of your dinner.
That's true. You split the bill real quick. That's true.
I've read on I can't cite a source on any of this, so this may well be out of my ass, but that Americans are very charitable in general, but also richer Americans are not more charitable than regular Americans. So there's something about getting rich that either you are greedy to get there, or once you get there, you get greedy. There's some weird psychology that happens when you get rich for most Americans.
I mean, that's how they got there, right?
Yeah, and you could say, hey, I gave $1 million to this charitable foundation. Well, A, it was a tax write-off, motherfucker.
Yes, exactly.
And B, it was such a small percentage of what you own that it's equivalent of me throwing 74 cents to somebody and saying, oh, look what a great philanthropist I am. You know,
Yeah.
it's almost more for show. Like, did you fix anything? Did you do something? Did you? No, you give a token of generosity.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. That's interesting, though.
it's a damning indictment of very rich people. If you want to sponsor this podcast, Lim will set up a Patreon account with your name on it. It's like when you get a building named after you at a university.
I'm down.
All right. If you want your name on Lim's Patreon account.
Let's talk about Coinbase, Elon Musk, Mark Cuban. Another one, and Doge. So let's talk about those. So Coinbase IPO'd. I don't know if there's much to talk about now since they IPO'd. It went up to like 450, went down to 300, went up to 320. I think today was like 350. I think 340, 350.
Yeah. What do you think about that space, anyways? Like crypto actually going. I mean, like a crypto company going public. Like, does that change anything within the way like centralized and decentralized is looked at?
Well, it's good in that it is cooperating with your government.
That's true.
And it is becoming mainstream through widely accepted institutions.
That's true.
Right. So do you ever doubt any company that's on the stock market?
No, not really, because they're regulated.
Yeah,
to a certain sense.
So there's some oversight.
Yes.
Right. In several ways.
So there's always going to have to be, I mean, it's a great piece of integration, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think. And I don't think we can just go straight blockchain without some type of integration with government or whatever it would be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say as far as its stock price fluctuating on the first couple of days here, I believe the same thing happened with Facebook.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
So, you know, is that normal for tech stocks to have a seizure when they come onto the market and then settle into some amount and then grow over time after that?
I would think so.
Yeah. I hope Coinbase is like the Netflix of bringing cryptocurrency to people.
I like that.
Yeah. Because there was a time where we were like, you want me to subscribe to get movies? Like,
Yeah.
how do I?
I mean,
you send me a DVD, or how does that?
Yeah. I mean, that was the first time I purchased was off of Coinbase. You know, I didn't purchase it off anybody or anything. It was just straight off Coinbase.
Yeah.
And
So I will credit it as being a great first mover and legitimizer of the whole enterprise, the whole activity. It's bringing it to the masses, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
I would say probably another good thing to add to it. We haven't heard of like bad things from Coinbase, like bad news. Like we haven't heard of Brian Armstrong, the CEO, laundering money. We haven't heard of their employees fighting some type of union issue with the CEO and not accepting it. We haven't heard, at least whether maybe they've done a good job or maybe they just did well hiding it. I don't know. But as far as it seems like they've done a pretty good job on the road to there. So it's a legitimately good company with the IPO, and it looks good on the outside too.
Wasn't he originally in digital payments at Airbnb? I heard that somewhere, that he was a programmer at Airbnb.
Interesting.
You know, they were trying to figure out how to accept money over the internet.
And that's how he came into
Something about his
crypto realm.
frustrations, got him into thinking about a crypto exchange early on.
How would this, you know, going and integrating with like the SEC and all of that? I know before or even till now, they've always talked about like decentralized exchanges in themselves. I mean, in this now, with it being within the SEC, I mean, there's no way to become decentralized now with Coinbase. And was it ever? Probably not. But I mean,
No, I don't think Coinbase was ever decentralized.
no. I mean, do you remember that concept before when they were talking about decentralized currency or
think,
exchanges?
I think Binance was talking about trying to go make a decentralized exchange, and I wish they did. It seems like they've kind of fell through, and to some extent, and the BNB coin, the Binance coin, they went up to like freaking $400. It's crazy.
I didn't know that.
Like just a couple of years ago, they were like $13. It's nuts. Anyway, sorry for tangent there. So I think Binance went for the target of a decentralized exchange. Coinbase stayed centralized.
What's the benefit of having something, well, decentralized, meaning like they need a consensus, right, in order to change things. But when it's centralized, they can just govern it and then change it automatically without a consensus of the whole.
If a decentralized exchange, if someone writes the code pretty well, the big difference is Coinbase has to be a custodian of your cryptocurrency. So when you buy $20 of Ethereum on Coinbase, they hold it in their vault, their wallet. On a decentralized exchange, you would have to if you have, say you have Bitcoin, you want to buy Ethereum, you have to send the Bitcoin and then also provide the Ethereum address that's your wallet, and it comes back in Ethereum. Whereas
For that one, there's no middleman. It's just a robot doing the transaction in the middle.
yeah,
With the decentralized?
yep.
Yeah, if it's decentralized exchange, then there's no middleman. It's just the program.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I guess, unless it goes wrong.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we've done, our Bitcoin's been for 13 years now, or no, 12 years. So if someone writes a code decent, I don't see it would be any different than Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then like Mt. Gox, which was the $400 million back then, which is probably, I don't even know now. That's probably freaking
$50 trillion.
yeah, I don't know. But that was a centralized exchange where the CEO allegedly took the wallets, and no one could prove it right or wrong. And there's $400 million, which might be close to, I don't know, $50 trillion right now.
That's crazy.
I just made that up. There was no math in that.
But it's probably really high.
I just like that I get to come on the show and sound like I know what I'm talking about. I think Earl's a great guest. Like he's interviewing you. Mm-hmm. You're doing a good job of. You should be a moderator. Your questions are great.
Thanks
for getting Liem started on this.
Yeah, I mean, I think it through a little bit. I mean, I've been in the crypto space when you had told me a while back, and I did pull out like before the last bump up. But man, it has been a good eye-opening experience to know what cryptocurrency can do, and the use cases and everything else, and the potential it has overall. I mean, it's just fascinating. I think so. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, like what it is now, like when you talk about like Elon Musk and Doge,
let's talk about
Dogecoin,
Elon Musk and Mark Cuban. So supposedly Mark Cuban. Does it sound?
Sounds like you need a drink, bro.
Make it a stiff one.
Mark Cuban owns the Dallas Mavericks.
So supposedly Mark Cuban has been started saying you could buy Maverick tickets with Dogecoin.
Okay.
And then Elon's recent tweets. So you get a double whammy where Dogecoin today has hit the top 5 cryptocurrency.
That's so crazy to me.
In market capitalization.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be just a meme, right?
It was
a regular joke, right?
Yeah. Well, so that's the funny thing. It started as a joke coin.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, anybody can make a cryptocurrency. Here's one with a dog's face on it.
Yeah.
So it was a joke coin. And then Elon jokes about it. And every time he jokes about it, it goes up in value.
Yeah.
But to me, one of the elements of currency, we say, is it money? Like, is it real money? If somebody will trade you something for it, if you can buy something with it,
there's value there.
Then to me, yes, there's money. So if you can go buy a Mavericks ticket, which is not cheap, right? There's some value on a basketball NBA ticket, right? If you can go buy an NBA ticket with Dogecoin, then to me, that's money. It has just become money to me.
That's
Right.
so crazy to me, though. I mean, like, like we were talking about it before, right? About the fundamentals, like earlier this morning. Like, where do the fundamentals just get thrown out the door? Now it becomes like just more of an emotional kind of like thing, or like when the pump and dumps happen with, oh, you know, Elon, like, oh yeah, to the moon, let's go Doge, and then afterwards, like,
But that's why I say you can't predict
that's true.
what wild thing is it gonna end up doing? I have no idea.
Yeah, that's
Because
so true.
I couldn't tell you could use a Dogecoin to buy a basketball ticket.
Yeah.
Even 6 months ago, right?
No.
Would anybody have predicted that?
So he's saying that you can actually purchase a Mavericks ticket with Doge now.
Yeah. Is it only that coin or several cryptocurrencies?
I am not sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm not gonna, or I don't know the answer to your question, so I'm gonna jump to my next train of thought.
Dodge the question, bro.
Dodge the Doge.
I'm actually emotionally upset at Elon Musk and Mark Cuban on this, because they are two wealthy people. I wish that they would not, especially Elon. It feels like he's trolling this thing, and I understand he's trolling it to make a joke, but yet
Doing it for his own entertainment.
he's doing it for his own entertainment, but it's affecting lots of people, and it's affecting, unfortunately, how good you know how I think cryptocurrency has such great potential.
Yeah.
I think
Lasers.
Yes, mesh internet, lasers, blockchain.
Authenticating identities for true voting systems.
I'm like emotionally upset at Elon for doing this, because I think it's going to hurt. I think it's going to potentially cause a crypto winter and tarnish it for some years to come.
Yeah.
There's some ifs that would have
Let's
to happen.
enjoy the ride. You've enjoyed the ride for how long, bro?
Yeah.
Well, I think, I think they're doing a good thing of bringing awareness and enthusiasm and excitement to cryptocurrency, right? Anytime
Yes.
Mark Cuban or Elon Musk says something about cryptocurrency, that's one more step to the masses, step to the population of
Acceptance.
Yeah, I mean, you hear about it a dozen times. When are you going to stop questioning its existence or its reality, right?
I think it's just around the corner where it is going to come, you know, more of the more of a household kind of thing.
I agree with you that it's weird that they're picking the joke over, you know, instead of evaluating, hey, this is
The
a serious,
fundamentals.
this might be a real good thing for the future, right? But if you look at America, I mean, maybe entertainment's the way to go, because that's all we're really responsive to. You know, there's nothing valuable about our reality show stars. And if they're entertaining enough, they can become president.
That's true.
So how entertaining is the office of president? Do we really care if he's great at governing the country? Do we think intelligently about the effect of the president on our nation?
Is that like how people think like Pacquiao for president sometimes, I guess, or
Yeah. I mean, you need popularity in some sense for elections. But maybe people are saying there's something worthwhile about Pacquiao. Maybe they see some integrity or some determination or some, you know, maybe he said some intelligent things about politics.
or they just want to do it for entertainment even.
Yeah. Well, so a big one was Ronald Reagan.
Yes.
He started as a cowboy actor, but he legitimately did a radio show talking about politics, and then he became governor of California, and he had very like heartfelt beliefs about right and wrong, and the nation resonated with that at that time. So the election of Ronald Reagan, I have no problem with, but he started as an entertainer.
Yes.
So if you start as an entertainer, I'm okay with that.
Do you think like crypto would kind of be the same kind of realm then? Like it's starting as entertainment first, and then the fundamentals actually do come into play later on down the line?
Well, yeah, is buying an NFT of LeBron's slam dunk in the Timberwolves game, is that worth $10,000? What is that besides entertainment?
That's true.
Because apparently you can buy an NFT of highlight clips. So, I mean, you look at that any way you want. It sounds like entertainment to me.
Yes. Yeah.
So is that where we should have started?
That's interesting because that's what like the dynamics been with a whole bunch of, cryptocurrency in general. You heard about, we talked about it earlier this morning about GameStop. And maybe AMC is a little bit in there too, a little bit of a meme in the Wall Street bets kind of realm, and it's funny because it's it's going to be eye opening when you say like people get entertainment from it though, right? They feed into it, right?
I bought a couple of shares of those.
Yeah,
I will legitimately say entertainment was probably my major motivation.
See, yeah. That's interesting. Like it's different in my mindset about the approach now. Like before, when you were talking about cryptocurrency in the beginning, when I was like interested in it, I was interested in the fundamentals. But now the dynamics completely changed. It seems like where there's another piece to it that we didn't realize has such an effect on the overall scheme of it. Yeah, that's incredible. I don't know.
It's kind of like oatmeal and spinach. It could be the best thing for you, but if people don't want it, they're going to go out and buy something else, right?
Those Cheerios, cinnamon
Frosted Flakes.
Oh man, that cinnamon toast
Double
crunch,
frosted.
though.
So what sells?
That's true.
So I'm all aboard the idealistic things that Liem wants from cryptocurrency.
Oh, for sure.
I don't think people behave that way. So they're going to do stupid stuff. And
there's that human factor.
Yeah. If we get there by accident, it'll be great.
I like that. I'm down. Yeah, just by that in itself, why not? If it helps the realm in itself, man, and it can get us there, let's all go to the moon.
So I think a part of that original thing that you put forth, that group of names, Tesla buying Bitcoin and accepting cryptocurrency as payment. Like you can go buy a Tesla with cryptocurrency, right? Mm-hmm. So if you got enough Bitcoin, you can go buy a Tesla right now. So that's great because, again, that's another vote for real money. Because who doesn't want a Tesla, right? Okay, there's some assholes who don't want Teslas, but there are a lot of people that would love this electric car. So if you can buy it with this digital currency, as much as you're mad at Elon for Dogecoin, you have to equally thank him for that's an eminently reasonable move to the future, right?
That's true. But I it's funny that he'll buy 1.5 billion of Bitcoin for Tesla or be a part of that, and then
through Tesla,
and then pump Doge as a meme, and not see that when Doge crashes, that will bring Bitcoin down. So I'm surprised he doesn't see that correlation. But he might be thinking that people are smart enough, and I actually do kind of think he at times, when he's doing this Doge meme joke stuff, it feels like he thinks a lot of people understand that it's truly a meme joke, but at times it seems like he doesn't understand enough that
he underestimates people's stupidity.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's only for his own entertainment. That's what it is, though.
Yeah, but so the thing I will say for Elon Musk, I bet he's very eccentric and not a normal dude. But he seems to be not profit driven. He is coincidentally super rich, however you want to measure it, but that doesn't seem to be his goal. No. He didn't set out to make as much money as humanly possible.
No, he's there to just enjoy life and like put ideas out there and see what happens. That's what I think.
I think get humans to Mars. That's it.
That's his too. Goal.
Yeah. Electric cars too.
Enjoy it along the way though, man. Yeah. Starlink is in there too. Yeah. Provide internet access for all. I thought that was what it was supposed to be, right? Or I'm not quite sure.
Well, he at one point said that Starlink is to help fund getting humans to Mars. So
I didn't know that. I didn't know it was that.
I don't know how true. Like it was at 80% of what he
doesn't care if we get cheaper internet.
No,
he wants your internet money to send rockets to Mars.
It's pretty cool, that Starlink stuff. Like I'm on the Reddit Starlink subreddit. It's so cool when people are like posting, "Oh, I live 200 miles from the city, and I just got my Starlink. Check out my previous provider, whether it be AT&T or whatever, it was like $400 a month, and their upload speed was like 1 megabit or something. And then Starlink, it's like half the price and 300 megabits.
Wow. Yeah, I think I remember seeing a documentary that was on YouTube. Yeah, showing the same thing. That's super crazy. Have you heard of Visa getting into cryptocurrency?
I don't know the details, but yes. What was the most recent news?
I think they were just like talking about like having a USDT kind of basis or stable coin in itself, and I'm not quite sure how that was gonna like take into effect how it's going to be used within the crypto space too, and how they're going to integrate Visa within that space, within the cryptocurrency space. I mean, it sounds really interesting though, because if you can get, you know, a major provider like that, you know, into the space, you know, a merchant.
Oh heck yeah!
That sounds incredible.
I've said it for years. It's there's the gateway drug like marijuana, and there's the gateway coins like USDC. So hopefully that is a gateway drug, gateway cryptocurrency for Ethereum or whatever is the best coin afterwards. I think Visa. This is just my theory. Visa using USDC, that coin.
DC, right?
Hopefully, as the masses use Visa and they see, maybe they see it on their statement or on their phone, they constantly see USDC. Eventually, it just kind of gets in the head after it's statistically something like the 7th time people believe it more. And after, it usually takes about 7 times before people believe certain things, psychologically or whatever. So hopefully USDC will be that gateway cryptocurrency to real cryptocurrency, because USDC, I don't know enough about USDC, but I don't want to talk.
I'll save you. Over the years, I've seen Visa in news articles regarding cryptocurrency probably a dozen times.
Okay.
So my guess is that Visa is a gigantic payment processing company, right? They digital money is their business.
Yes.
So if you have something called cryptocurrency that's digital money, they'd be fools not to pay attention to it.
For sure.
So I think they're constantly eyeballing and evaluating and dipping their toes in the water in different ways to figure out, hey, if this becomes a big thing, we don't want to wake up one day
and not be in the game
and nobody's using their Visa card.
That's
right?
true.
So
I could see that.
Even your debit card that's not a credit card is on a Visa network.
That's true.
Of payments, right? So that's what I think Visa is doing is studying,
just claiming their stake right now a little bit.
Yeah, and learning by doing, right? So whatever makes sense for them.
Oh, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, that's what I would do if I was Visa. No, let's talk about your belt again.
Man, that belt, because Ethereum's at $2,400 right now.
Now you're telling everybody the date of this podcast. They can go look at the historical record and figure out what day we're speaking on. You're just giving your information out on the internet, dude.
So that belt.
Does Earl know the belt story?
I heard it over the podcast I listened to this morning.
You know the belt story.
Nice.
Yeah.
Liem bought a belt on Overstock.com years ago.
But we'll have the other podcast, so I don't know, unless you're saying something different.
Well, who's going to watch all your podcasts? What if this is the first one because they're friends of Earl?
Okay.
Liem bought a belt on Overstock.com. I'm making it real short. Using cryptocurrency to buy it. But in the years since then, the cryptocurrency has really grown in value. The belt has not grown in value. So that's what we're laughing about, is this shitty belt that he doesn't wear. I mean, no, it was a great belt, but Liem didn't like it because it was too fancy. It had too much swag. So he chose poorly which belt he wanted. This is no fault of Overstock's. Overstock.com's. It just turned into a long story.
I think it's like a $600 belt now.
You need to frame that belt.
That's what I think Emmett and Beau suggested.
Yeah.
Or if you ever lose all your crypto money, you can hang yourself with it. Is that allowed? Is that a YouTube forbidden?
Yes.
Why don't you go hang yourself? All right, welcome back, Earl. Hey, let's say I owed you some money right now.
Okay.
And I was like, hey, I got 100 Australian dollars. I can give you the 100 Australian dollar bill. Or if you want, I can send the 100 Australian dollars to your phone. through some app or whatever, right? Or I can send you $100 in Bitcoin. What? It's all the same to me. What do you like?
Usability, and for ease of access, it would be Bitcoin.
So, well, I only have like 83 Bitcoin. Would you rather have 83 Bitcoin instead of 100 Australian dollars?
I'll take 83 Bitcoin because
Wait,
that's a shit ton of money.
No, 83 Bitcoins or $83?
Oh, sorry. I only have $83 worth of Bitcoin.
Okay. 83 Bitcoin.
If I had 83 Bitcoin, I would be talking to you chumps.
He's like, wait a second.
I'd be on a way bigger show.
Joe Rogan, where you at?
Yeah, I'm not a cheap sidekick. Sorry, I asked that wrong. If I had $83 worth of Bitcoin, that's all. I only got $83 worth of Bitcoin.
If there's no other way that you could pay me, I'd definitely take the Bitcoin.
No, I could give you Australian dollars. Those
if
are perfectly fine.
If those were the only two options, Bitcoin for sure.
Okay.
You would take a $17 hit on.
Oh, you mean 83 or $100 in Australian?
Yeah, I got 100 Australian dollars.
Oh no, but then I had to go and like get a transaction fee from the bank. You know, doesn't matter. No, it doesn't even matter. Like, doesn't make sense.
You have to talk to them like that.
Yeah, give me my money. Give me my USD.
Yeah.
Well, I push my glasses up. Yeah.
No, so that's an interesting window into the state of our world right now. That there's Australian money's been around forever.
Yeah.
It's perfectly legit money. It's real money. It's worth. It has a very certain value.
Do you think eventually a USD coin might come out?
Almost certainly.
Okay. So in itself,
Me personally.
yeah. So do you
I
think?
would think so. It would be centralized. I would think so.
Yeah. So I mean, is it just a matter of time when that happens? And like,
But with a centralized coin, it doesn't provide all the benefits of blockchain.
that's true. That's true.
Consensus of truth, you have to have a decentralized system. To,
Your
to get
candy
there.
bars would still deflate.
I have this issue with candy bars being about $1 nowadays, because back in when I was young, you could buy 3 candy bars with $1. So I mean, you go back in time, we had this conversation.
You
Conversation.
should
last
eat
time.
less candy, bro.
Yeah. I used to do the same thing with Jack in the Box tacos, because they're always 2 for $1 even till now, and I still think about it like, damn, how much am I getting paid at work? Only $7 an hour. That's only 14 tacos, man.
You valued your compensation in terms of greasy tacos.
Yeah. You put sour cream on them though, dude. Delicious. Just kidding.
Yeah, I'm on a commission basis now, so I'd have to recalculate my real estate transactions in greasy tacos.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's super crazy though when I think about like about where it would have, like where cryptocurrency could be with the government. It's gonna have to have some type of integration. Like, and I know in my mind when we were talking like back in the day, Ripple was the integration coin in my mind. Like when they were talking about like, oh, they might take over Swift. You know, Swift might actually integrate Ripple in there for blockchain and to make quicker transactions and everything else, right? But like thinking even on a higher level of an actual government currency change. I mean, isn't there some countries in itself where
China.
Yeah, China.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear your question.
I'm just curious though. Like some countries have actually adopted more of the cryptocurrency realm. Like I know Jack Dorsey. He's a big advocate for cryptocurrency in Africa. I'm not quite sure like how he's implementing it or not, and maybe that could be like the first use case of a certain country actually going straight digital. Wouldn't that be kind of crazy, right? I mean, when would it expand out, or who would be the first one to do it, I guess is my question, because that'd be super crazy.
I hear
right?
China has some stuff going on with the digital yen. Or
Really?
yuan.
Okay.
it would be unlikely we would follow in the footsteps of Africa for anything technological right now, because they're so much poorer and different.
Yeah, but it'd
than
be a
the
use
US.
case though.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You literally, there's probably millions of people banking with cryptocurrency on their phone.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what that does for them is that they're 100 miles from a bank with no car.
Yeah.
So they're not going to walk with a basket on their head to go to the bank.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I just see them even just gaining wealth off of cryptocurrency in itself. A lot of countries that have like devalued currency, they go into cryptocurrency and their value just automatically has stabilized in itself. I mean, I understand they're just going to ride the fluctuations and stuff, but I mean, I would think, you know, if you have like, I don't know a good example.
I know a good one.
Is Dong one?
Dong?
Yeah.
Are you talking about Vietnamese money?
It has it had like a super hyperinflation at one point or no? No, nothing like
for
that.
30 years.
The government
probably.
would not allow that.
What's another country that has had one?
Venezuela is the
Yes, that's right.
is the poster boy for
Yeah.
our money got so worthless that a lot of them are using cryptocurrency.
Okay.
That government tried to
Oh yes,
ban
they
it,
did.
right?
That's right.
So-
Didn't they try to make their own coin at one
Petro,
point?
Yeah.
Petrocoin.
But it was so decentralized and corrupted that it just didn't
Yeah.
work, right?
But a less extreme example, I think Liem shared some story with me where he didn't tell me a story, but he sent whatever the article was, or some doctor in Iran.
Okay.
I think he started mining because electricity is so artificially cheap in Iran for Iranians to use.
I didn't know that.
So they're on some government subsidized electricity.
Okay.
So this doctor in Iran is making money mining. And for him, he's like, hey, this is a real life changer for me because, you know, doctors aren't rich in Iran, but it has given me relatively a boon of wealth. And I was able to go out and buy the latest gaming computer parts. And it was a really great story. Except, hey, doctor, what the fuck are you doing with these video games, man? Like, don't you need to go fix some patients or something? So the story was missing a lot of pieces, but this doctor was thrilled that something that would be unattainable for him became attainable through cryptocurrency mining.
Interesting.
Yeah, if I remember in that article, they just briefly said that he said the amount of work that he had dried up due to some government economic issue.
Oh, I missed that part, yeah.
So he had to find other ways to get by and make sure there's food on the table. And
I'm sorry. I was totally incriminating that doctor for being a jerk off.
well, I mean, actually the reason why I say it like that, though, they only had like one sentence. So I was like, is it true? Or, I mean, to buy that hardware in that country would be really expensive. So he has money.
Yeah. So he got it from mining cryptocurrency.
You have to buy the hardware first.
Oh, get the hardware.
yeah.
Sorry.
Or unless, yeah.
He did it through a pool.
Unless
I don't know.
maybe he started as a small miner and then built his way up. But
We can invent any story at this point. We've got a wacky basis for some real story, presumably.
where do you think your circle of friends if you had to build a persona for the thought of cryptocurrency, meaning
Do they want my Australian dollars?
do most of your friends currently own cryptocurrency? Are they afraid of it? Most of you and your friends think it's the future, or most of you hold, or
You know, I don't know a whole consensus. I haven't touched
kind
base.
of, I mean, it's just
in general.
yeah, just thoughts.
It's hard to say. I haven't been in touch with a whole bunch of people since COVID. But like, I would think that a majority of them would not have cryptocurrency. Yeah. Only because they believe in the risk factor being so high. They've seen the crashes. They've seen what it was. I mean, they always say like when your mom starts asking you, or you have your gardener being like, oh, what's Bitcoin? Where do I buy it? And then, afterwards it's like, okay, that's when you need to pull back a little bit. It's like, whoa. But I mean, that's what it was before, right? Like that last crash.
2017.
Yeah. I mean, that's what happened. It was like, oh, how do I buy this Bitcoin? And then afterwards you're like, dude, the hype is too real. But not real, or might be false. But this time it seems like the hype has a little bit of substance behind it in my mind, like especially with financial institutions in there. So I don't know how it's going to change the way I guess the people around me conceive it to be, but I believe with a little bit more acceptance of the grander kind of outlook of the economic picture, they might be more acceptable to purchase some on their own. Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking about sort of asking each guest that comes on that questions and just kind of get it's kind of like a snapshot per person. Just if they happen to be one person where they say, oh, I know 20 people in holding cryptocurrency, that'd be kind of interesting. But then
You're painstakingly collecting sketchy data through each guest.
I mean, I've asked, like, I mean, you have an accounting background, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I do too as well. And, you know, I even talking to some accounting friends, you know, I remember dating this one girl and she was saying like, no, like I would not ever buy any cryptocurrency at all. I thought to myself, I'm not going to date you.
No, hey, wait. So two accountants on a date.
Yeah.
Who paid for dinner?
No, it's a good split bill. Yeah. Mutual understanding. Venmo. Just kidding. No, but it's just eye opening to me where like I think you have to have an open mind to where like you believe cryptocurrency is going ahead.
Wait, so that was a deal breaker? You were like,
there was a part of me.
No on
there
this
was a
shit?
hard. That was a part of me that I was like, dude, I'm holding. You know, I was holding back then. I was like,
What if she had bigger boobs? Would that have changed?
That might have had like an influence on my decision making.
Okay.
Just kidding.
So I want to make sure you're thinking rationally before you go dumping women who aren't into cryptocurrency.
No, I mean, it's just in my mind. It's like you really do have to have an open-minded, perspective of where things might be headed. In my mind, you know, I mean, it's funny to me if you can, you could be so, pigeonholed a little bit where you can't see it. I mean, at least give it some type of credibility.
did she ask you about your opinion on it?
Not really. And that's probably another reason why. It's just like, she didn't ask me if I held. She didn't ask me anything. I'm glad she did it. It's like, yeah. But,
Did she have a very old-fashioned name? Like Madeline?
No, her name. Yeah, no, nothing like. I can't say her name.
Don't say it.
Her name.
Gertrude was not into.
Yeah. Sorry, Gertrude. I love you. Really. Let's go on a date. I don't know. I'm getting tired of these finger swipes, man. My fingers are hurting.
What? Oh,
left or right?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Are you in that pool right now?
I have been, man. I don't know. Sometimes you just don't know what's behind the mask anymore, right? So it's just like, hey, at least you get to see some of their faces. It's just like, oh, yeah, I don't know. It's just that's a different topic for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, dating.
What's your current thoughts on cryptocurrency? You said it feels like there's some substance in cryptocurrency now.
Yeah.
What do you predict for in the future? This is just random.
Yeah, for sure,
conversation,
man.
whatever.
Yeah, I believe in it. I believe in there's a space for it, and it's just going to be growing and growing and growing until the usability case for one thing or another is going to, it's going to be the one to keep it on, track to become something that's a household thing, and whether it be through something more like, we're talking about, entertainment wise, right? Whether it be through that there's kind of a medium in between, or it could be like fundamental where it's like, oh, like there's something super solid here, or it's going to be a combination.
I think there's
of
an
both,
immediate,
right?
There's an immediate case of that. I think PayPal recently has added cryptocurrency to their functionality.
Really?
So on PayPal, you can buy stuff. I think you can buy Bitcoin.
The last I heard was that you could buy. There's still a custodian where you can't withdraw.
Yeah.
But I hear that they're on the verge of releasing that you could actually use the cryptocurrency to buy stuff. So that's going to be a big.
Yeah. So however PayPal is integrating it, it's fascinating to me because PayPal, what is PayPal? It's literally one of the first biggest ways to pay for things on the internet that we as a society were
adopted. Yeah.
Yeah. So back in those days, like, would you put your credit card number in the computer? No. Would you use PayPal? Okay. Right. So all these years we've been using PayPal as internet money.
Yeah.
Is basically what it is, right? So now PayPal is integrating cryptocurrency. And to me, that's just another form of money then, right?
That's true.
And anything you can buy on PayPal, presumably, now you can buy with cryptocurrency, either now or very shortly.
Interesting. Yeah.
And it's very general because you can buy any kind of thing on PayPal, right? It's
Yeah.
Not, it's not narrow. It's not just Teslas.
Interesting. So would they be doing I don't know, I haven't looked into it at all. Would they be doing the transaction? Say if you can pay for it in Bitcoin, but they would actually do the transaction when the transaction's actually in USD?
I don't know.
I don't know the details, but if you go to their website right now, it's very prominent on their page. They're pushing it.
Wow.
So it's interesting.
Yeah. I can't wait to see like how they integrate it. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's just one more link in there, you know, to mainstream. Yeah. Yep. I don't know. It's going to be crazy. I think so. I mean, that's where I think the whole crypto space is going to be in my mind for the future. It's just going to grow and grow and grow. Like I do believe in it. It's just when. Yeah. It's just when. And it's hard because it's like, I think you were talking over it with, what's her name yesterday, or the
Renee.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. She was
Renee. Thank you for that awesome talk.
Yeah. It was good. Really good.
That's right.
Yeah. I just, I forgot what my train of thought was.
Oh,
actually.
sorry.
It's okay.
You're bringing up Renee.
Yeah. Renee, I thought she was talking about something in general. I'm going to have to go back to that.
Would you rather have $1,000 or a digital NFT that allows you to augmentedly reproduce a DeLorean in your driveway?
$1,000 right now. That's a lot.
No, the NFT, it's the future.
NFT would be the future.
You have a digital DeLorean sitting in your driveway.
A digital one. Oh no.
Well, it's augmented.
It was only $70 just the other day.
But it's going to multiply in value.
Do you think so? I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
I can't put my weight behind that.
Jack Dorsey's like tweet, would that eventually be like a Picasso?
How much did that go for?
A couple million, I think. Was it over $1 million?
See, that seems crazy to me.
Yeah.
For something that I could also have a copy of.
Yeah. But the authentic one, the real one.
Did they grab the original tweet, like off the Twitter server?
I don't know. I don't know how it works. Of the NFT, man.
It's been designated the
code on itself is like, this code is associated with this tweet. I have this code now. It is mine.
Yeah, that's a hard one for me to
grasp.
I could see it for a couple bucks, right?
Yeah.
At some point, there's an entertainment value to owning the first tweet.
Yes.
$20. Sure.
I guess it's just asking us, like, since we're all living in a simulation anyways, that
are we?
Yeah. So like, don't you want a DeLorean in your simulation? Just kidding. That's pretty deep.
I think I would rather have a real Arby's sandwich.
I like that.
Than a virtual DeLorean.
Oh, I would too, but like a lot of these people, like I don't know, with those knives later on though, those people go crazy over those Counter-Strike stuff, man. Even just like World of Warcraft, I just see the usability, and then
the Counter-Strike knife makes more sense to me because it is something only you can use in that virtual environment. It is analogous to a unique item. Mm-hmm. So to me, that makes sense.
So artwork might be the same way though too. You know what I mean?
But digital art is not. It's so easy to make a copy of digital art, and then it's indistinguishable. It's not like you have Van Gogh's brushstrokes on it. It's still a digital representation. Like it could be virtually identical.
I guess. I mean, that's the case to argue. I guess right now within the NFT realm. Yeah. It definitely, there's an argument there for it because like, what is it so that somebody can't just replicate it and say, oh, this is the new NFT. But
I don't even need to say that. Like I say, I get as much enjoyment out of this copy as you do from the original.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So that's a weird thing to me.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe like in a certain aspect where like, I guess on that app, right? And you have to go into that app to look at something. You know what I mean? So would it just hold value only within that realm of the app? You know what I mean? The value is limited only to there. So it can't be replicated or not. It's just.
Do NFTs only live on an app?
No, I mean, it just depends on how, I guess it's programmed or whatever it is on the white pages in itself. I have no idea.
I would imagine.
Like-
I'm guessing it would just live on that specific blockchain. I'm guessing.
Yeah, so I'm not 100% sure. I'm still new into that realm. Like I threw a little bit of money on something, but I don't know where that shit's going. Yeah, right now it's roller coaster ride, but hey,
Yeah.
whatever.
Question for
Yeah.
both of you: am I the most knowledgeable in cryptocurrency blockchain that you know? As in, my train of thought is wondering if you guys happen to know other people that are very knowledgeable in blockchain or cryptocurrency.
What do you want to make you a crown or something?
I'm curious on.
I'm gonna go to Burger King real quick.
I wonder how much of a nerd I am to some degree.
Yeah, you're way off the deep end, man.
Yeah. It's too bad. I wish more people would understand
A lost
cryptocurrency.
cause.
Yeah, I mean, you've always been like that though, and it's
A lost cause.
Yeah, not a
For
lost
years.
cause. Yeah, no, I mean, just dive into it, man. You dive in like
Yeah.
all of it. Yeah, and it's a good thing. I mean, you're probably the right now for sure. Yeah, you're most knowledgeable in that sense. I mean, maybe the variety has not like as in the spectrum of how cryptocurrencies change are so much.
Yeah.
Maybe not in that, as a whole, but like the knowledge of how blockchain works and everything. Yes, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, at least it's something useful and interesting. You could be a total nerd on something useless.
Like NTFs, NFTs.
Those have high value at the moment. It's funny, they might not be anything next year.
Nope. Yeah.
Because last year was all DeFi, right?
Yeah. And DeFi seems to still be going now, sort of.
Is there a lot of talk and activity and buzz around DeFi? Are people buying DeFi coins? And
I wonder if NFTs kind of overpowered it, but I still see a lot of DeFi stuff going on.
yeah,
It's decentralized finance.
Yeah.
So how does that like?
So oddly, as much the research that I've done, it's just a bunch of gamblers. I don't understand it. It's, probably somebody's gonna freaking what's it called? They're probably gonna shut me down because too many people are gonna hate me for saying this. But as far as I understand, decentralized finance is, say you want to bet on, it's almost like shorting and longing cryptocurrencies. If you want to bet that Ethereum's going to go up to 5,000, you could bet on it. And when you bet on it, you have to have a quarter. It's kind of funky. So you want to bet that it's going to go up to $3,000 and you're willing to bet $600 on it. But you have to have 200 in your account so that this smart contract will, as soon as, if you're wrong and it goes down from 2,400 down to 22 instead of going up to 26, it's going to take your 200 and cancel the rest of the bet. It's done.
That sounds crazy. It sounds like options trading for cryptocurrency.
Yeah. That's what but when people get all like excited about DeFi, I'm like, this looks like freaking stocks, options, trading, gambling crap. Like, now I guess I
why
should.
did you put crap at the end?
Yeah, I know. I was gonna try to disclaimer that. So I'm a little bit more conservative on some of my financial bets and stuff. So,
We should go date an accountant.
but she doesn't like cryptocurrency,
She's more conservative.
and she doesn't have big boobs.
Yeah, you're right. Forget all of that.
So as far as I know, DeFinance is just that, and I was really scratching my head that it's growing this big. Now,
I didn't know that. Yeah, what it was.
I think one thing that it could do, and I don't think I've ever seen anyone use it for this. Say if for some reason Emmett, his car broke down and he didn't have $10,000, and for some reason I had enough ETH to cover that, I could say, hey, I'll loan you that, but you're gonna have to pay out. I think the smart contracts allows like certain payouts and stuff.
But if I had the money, I wouldn't have to borrow it from you.
I think it allows it's funky on that.
There's some way to work alone. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think there's a way to work alone. Yeah.
So the hard question then is, what if I don't pay you?
They have, I think that might be a slightly bad example, but that's where I would see DeFinance.
No, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
There's no way for you to digitally break my knees on the blockchain or ding my credit score. Could you do a blockchain credit score? I mean, that would suck. Nothing would ever erase.
People would just have to create new accounts.
Yeah,
start
but
over.
like all those credit all those financial institutions and everything would have to go through, the blockchain though too. And I thought about that too. Like, I mean, that would be awesome actually in my mind, because then you can,
A blockchain credit score?
yeah, I think so. I mean,
Yeah.
not
I mean,
only just for blockchain, but like actually revolutionizing the actual, like, I mean, dude, Equifax got hacked. You know what I mean? Like,
They
what?
did?
Yeah. Yeah.
Gave
Wow.
away all my info.
Yeah, man. And yeah, they did. I mean, yeah, think about it. If like the credit bureaus themselves were actually on a blockchain, that'd be kind of crazy. You had to input certain things into
Yeah.
it, like a history of whatever. Oh, I made a payment, whatever it is. And I don't know. It sounds
I
crazy.
think unfortunately with our world though, there's not like one simple better solution for something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think what then happens is you do have the 3 major credit reporting bureaus, and then you have a triple score, and you have a FICO,
Mm-hmm.
and you add on your blockchain credit score.
For cryptocurrency itself is different.
But what I feel like in our world, like the old stuff doesn't really disappear. You just get more complicated. Now I got
I see what you
5
mean.
ways to check your credit.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe when you're going to buy a used car, they prefer one of those. Or if you're going to go get a crypto loan, they prefer
Oh,
looking
interesting.
at something else.
I see. So like a completely different realm, like credit score just for cryptocurrency.
Yeah, so the credit scores we have now that exist are used differently depending on what you're doing. Like if you're trying to rent an apartment, I think they might just check one. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. So it just, the ideal thing is you want some best system for everybody to take over and be the thing we use.
Yes.
But it seems like our world just gets more complicated by adding another thing to do and have to deal with.
Yeah. I mean, but if it's more efficient, can protect the consumer.
Mm-hmm.
I think blockchain has a capability of doing that. I don't know. That sounds like an interesting use case in itself. I think there's so many use cases in my mind. I was thinking just earlier when we were talking is even just the stock market in general. Wouldn't that be crazy? You put stock market on
they
A
have
stock
a-
chain?
stock chain. Stock chain's one, huh?
They have a Tesla stock. It's pegged to the Tesla real NASDAQ stock. So there's a crypto that you could, I guess, buy through an exchange that is just pegged to the. But
pegged to
but
Tesla's
it's lame
buy.
because they also turn it off at the same NASDAQ times at 6 a.m. and 3 p.m. or whatever it is. So
Yeah.
I was hoping that it would go 24/7. That'd be kind of cool. Somehow
Then it'll get out of whack.
it would get out of whack. Yeah.
But it has nothing to do with the actual Tesla company, right? Somebody else just pegged it to their stock value. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Like Tesla doesn't have anything to do with the coin.
Correct.
Oh, interesting.
I want to say it might be Binance. I might be wrong on that.
Okay.
Binance created. I might be wrong on that, but from what I hear, yes, there's a pegged Tesla crypto stock.
And Binance is the biggest cryptocurrency exchange currently by volume.
I actually don't know.
I heard Binance 1, Coinbase 2.
Oh, I haven't heard. I don't know. I would imagine Coinbase is number 1 in America, and then I
Yes.
don't know if Coinbase or Binance which one's on the number 1 globally.
Can we look it up? Real
You
quick?
can. We live in a modern day and age. And then Binance is
Crypto to crypto only. Well, they do have a Binance.us division.
no,
So-
but they were originally in China.
Let's see. Biggest one, anyways, is actually I don't know. It says Binance 1, and then Coinbase Pro 2, then Kraken.
Okay, that sounds.
Sounds about right.
So yeah, so Binance is number 1. I think they started out in China, then they had to move to
to some island somewhere.
Malta, and then to Hong Kong, and then to somewhere else. I might be wrong.
So
I don't
they're just on the lam all the time.
Yeah,
So Binance is an exchange that is crypto to crypto only. Like you can't buy in with US dollars or something.
You had to buy it off another exchange first, or you buy it off somebody else or something.
I think sort of. I think Binance in America for a while they
Yes.
wouldn't deal with U.S. customers, but Binance, I heard in other countries that allow that their government isn't so regulated or whatever on cryptocurrency. So
Everybody's got different rules.
yeah. So they allowed those countries, but then they recently opened up Binance.us. So now they serve U.S.
Right. So the OG Binance has to keep moving to different countries wherever the laws suit.
What's the most open to cryptocurrency? I heard Singapore is pretty up there with like how their laws are with cryptocurrency.
Probably wherever Binance is right now.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's true.
When you read articles, there's never an article about the best country. It's always about the country that's cracking down. I think Turkey recently. I could be entirely wrong.
I think
Crack down on cryptocurrency.
Yeah, they're banning it.
Yeah, they just say, hey, it's getting big. Enough of this cryptocurrency bullshit.
Yeah,
we don't like this
because they don't want. Yeah, it's messing with their currency itself. Right?
Yeah, I don't even know anything about Turkey. Like, what do they do or what? I don't
know. I just
could tell you it's next to like
Thanksgiving.
Syria and south of Russia, maybe.
Yeah, I heard a lot of nice things about that place, though.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure it's got a brilliant culture, but it seems like the government there recently is not down with cryptocurrency.
Interesting. Yeah, I could see that with many governments, actually.
Yeah.
So I got a question for you, and maybe it'll be slightly emotional to just your experience of buying and selling out on Ethereum or whatever you did. Just give your story, and I think there's going to be so many people that have sold out too. So did you buy back in now, or have you not?
A little bit.
In?
Yeah, but not into Ethereum.
Does it?
You just broke Liem's heart.
I know.
Did it when you sold? Like, what was? When you saw it go back up, what was kind of going through your mind?
It doesn't matter to me in my mind. It's just, for me, it's, it's just money. You know what I mean? Like if it came up and I came up a little bit, I'm happy with that, and it doesn't really matter. I mean, everybody has a different threshold, and what they feel comfortable with taking the risk at. And for me at the point, I just felt like, yes, there was a lot of emotions where I'm like, should I hold on or whatever it is? And I made a decision in my mind. I wanted to pull out. That's it. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't really mean like I don't believe in it or anything. I still do. Was it wise or not? I mean, always hindsight is 20/20. But for me and myself, I feel like you got to have some type of detachment away from what you're actually doing. And I felt like I had enough detachment from it where I don't feel like I have jeopardized myself in any way, and I felt okay doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think like on YouTube, I always hear about like day traders or people that like Lambo, they make a bunch of money off of crypto and then buy a Lambo. And then I hear about the day traders, and I feel like, at least for the day traders, I feel like I don't have enough trustable stories. Like, you only hear about the day traders when they make
when they're winning.
Yeah, you don't hear about the losing story. So I think whether it be day trading or just buying and hold, I think it's good for people kind of hear the normal human stories on it, because then other people that have gone through it, they won't feel as bad, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's all comes down to the individual, though, right? I mean, it doesn't really have you can't mass produce an emotion,
Well, no, for example, I have
some people can.
I guess you can.
No, I have
some of those good storytellers,
I have friends that sold out, and they like email or call me, and they feel so bad.
Oh.
And I'm just like, well, it's just money. But they're like, oh man,
it's a perspective that just needs to change a little bit. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, would it be great if I had it still? Sure. Would it have changed who I am? Maybe a little bit, but could buy a little bit more or whatever it is. But in the long term, no, still the same person, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think on some of those friends that email or call me, they feel like so sad, and I think if they heard other people's stories, they would feel better. But yet, because they feel so sad, they're not going to share their story. So it's kind of a bad situation.
Can you pretend you're really broken up about it so that other people can feel better?
You don't have to. Don't listen to it.
I mean, I sold my cryptocurrency and I regret it every day.
Nah, nothing like that. You shouldn't be too down on yourself. I mean, everybody, like you said, you have your ups and downs. You know what I mean? And yeah, you can pick it back up if you want to. You gotta do your research.
You're way too mentally healthy for this question.
Yeah.
I think the same thing. There's things I regret in my life. Like I ran for high school president, and I thought I would get up there and just wing it for the speech. I totally choked in front of the whole high school, and I don't get embarrassed very easily, but that's clearly embarrassing. And I regret it. I wish I could go back and write a speech first and deliver that.
Oh, you try to wing it.
Yeah, like I went up there with no speech.
Okay.
And I just choked. Like the magical inspiration that I assumed would come to my lips in front of that podium, just nothing. It looked a lot more like stage fright.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, but like through those experiences, you learn to become better, right? Like,
yeah. So like, yeah, could I change it if I would? Yeah. Does it really bother me? You know, would my life have been different? Who knows, right? I can tell you the dude that did get president, I think he went on to Harvard. So I'm sure that looked great on his
I see.
application. So that's much more useful than my goofing around. Like it wouldn't help me in my college path.
Yeah. But like even with you guys been holding for quite a while, right?
Maybe.
See? Yeah. Flipping the question. Yeah. Flipping the question, you know, and holding. Does that make you a different person?
I think my friend Beau probably words it well. He says, despite how cryptocurrency has gone up a lot and down a lot, he's seen me on both peaks.
Okay.
And he says I'm the same person when I was playing racquetball with him and before my ankle. So I personally don't think that I'm different, but it was good to hear it from him because it felt like he was genuine in saying that I really am the same person during the ups and downs of crypto.
I see.
I'd say for me personally, the way I see it is similar to the other appreciating assets that normal people can buy. If you can buy property, real estate, or you can buy stocks, equity, right? Those are things normal people buy. So do you want to have it? Sure. Do you want to have a lot of it? Sure. Do you want to have bought it way back? Sure. If you sell it, you cash it out, and then it stops growing. So to me, it's very much similar. However you view those things, you know, whatever your strategy is, right? I don't want to die with the most assets. I actually want to die in the most debt as humanly possible. Personally, I want to die owing millions of dollars.
Not a financial advisor.
No, this is for me. I wouldn't advise this for anybody. The hard thing is not knowing when you're going to die, right?
Yeah.
But the older I get, the more I'll borrow. If I can. So it's just your perspective, right? If you have kids and you're worried about paying for their college or something, then that's a different mindset, right?
Yeah.
If you have billions of dollars and you want to inherit it, you know, gift it to your spoiled ass, useless kids, then that's a different perspective too.
Yeah, for sure.
A little bit of a random thought. When sometimes people ask, should they buy cryptocurrency now or should they wait? And I think something we've been saying since 2016 was buy now, because you can't predict the future, and every dollar you put in is just going to add to that appreciating asset. It may go down in price, but nobody can predict
Right.
that.
Yeah.
I think it's odd. I guess that it feels weird to say that for so many years and still have that.
Well, so the weird thing that happens is people now who have the option to buy some cryptocurrency, right? They'll go, oh man, you know, I knew about this a couple of years ago. I should have bought it back then. I missed it. It's exactly what they'll say, right? Well, no, you didn't. It's just like stocks or real estate. Like you didn't miss it. You just buy in when you can.
It's a psychological thing.
It is, but I find it weird that it's so common that people will that feeling will stop them from moving now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're still buying stock and you're still buying real estate, then those are all things that over time seem to grow. So why not buy another thing that seems to grow?
Mm-hmm.
So why do you have this feeling, oh, I missed it?
Yeah, it's psychological.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To add to that, often if people talk about, say, Ethereum, when I suggest Ethereum, and then at that time it was $200 for Ethereum, but then they keep on looking at, well, 2 weeks ago it was 120.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, I missed the boat. I'm like, no, you didn't. It's probably going to go up to 2,000, 4,000 eventually, but you just got to buy and hold.
Yeah.
And I hear it all along the way from $13 to $40 to
And it's
$60.
crazy. It doesn't matter what the dollar was. Yeah.
Yeah.
The value at the time. Yeah.
Yep.
So I actually see a very similar analog in real estate where people don't quite say it the same way, but mentally they're anchored in old prices. And they go, I was looking at on the internet 2 years ago, and this exact house was only $240,000. And like, I can't pay $300 for it now. And it doesn't work that way, right? You buy it when you can buy it. Mm-hmm. It makes no sense to be anchored in some past price that's almost arbitrary. Yeah, sure, it was worth $240 2 years ago. Guess what it was worth 10 years ago? Guess what it was worth, 30 years ago?
It almost have to be a flip of the thought. And I totally agree with you. I'm just trying to add, if someone
Thank you. I need agreement.
if someone could, if that house, I forget what you said, the starting value, it was 150,000 and now it's 300,000.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, I can't buy it because it was 150,000. They need to flip the thought and say, well, if this 300,000 can make me 100,000, it doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter whatever price it is. If it can make you 100,000, you should go for it.
Right.
That's same thing with a cryptocurrency. If it can make you 10,000 or 50,000, you should just go for it. Whichever one is the, whatever you could throw disposable income on. I'm not a financial advisor. Don't listen to me. I'm a stupid dumb shit. But whatever
we could do it this way. So say you had 500 extra bucks, right? You paid all your bills. You have $500 sitting around. You don't know what to do with it, right? So hey, would you trade this $500 for $2,000 5 years from now?
Yes.
Okay, well that's probably something like what's going to happen if you invest it.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's all the what ifs. It's all speculation, just like stocks and everything else. I mean, I understand maybe people don't have the same understanding as we do about cryptocurrency.
If you said cryptocurrency scare me, so I just go buy stock instead, I'd be like, all right, cool.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
Or some people go, you know what, stocks scare me. I've been buying a lot of gold.
Whatever floats their boat, man.
Yeah, so, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk you out of buying gold.
No. Yeah, everybody's different on the way they interpret how they want to spend their money and invest.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no general consensus of how somebody should do something.
Just winners and losers.
Yeah, just choices that people make.
All right, I'm going to enter us into the final questions.
The boss
segment.
round.
So, first question: what great daily habits do you have?
I think having a little bit more mindfulness each day. Even sometimes I wake up, you have a negative thought, and to get rid of it is just by doing, instead of thinking. And, over time, it's not always a habit that's there, but it's always a progress. And progression is the habit.
Wait, so you're not naturally a positive, happy dude? Like you wake up with evil thoughts and you're like, you know what? I'm just going to... That's negative.
Yeah, there's sometimes you do. I mean, I feel like I do. Yeah, sometimes I do. I'd have to say so.
Yeah. Oddly, I don't know if because recently we've had this discussion where you mentioned that you're less motivated in the morning or something. So then I notice the things that I'm trying to do.
It takes me time to get started in the morning.
Yeah. Maybe I'm catching at the wrong time too. Maybe you're running out doing real estate stuff. But when I'm setting up all this video stuff and edit, or when I'm light tests, audio tests, setup tests, everything. And I almost feel like I'm moving so fast when I'm looking at you, but you probably just came back from real estate.
Yeah.
Just randomly, when we've talked about that, have you compared that with me at all? Like your speed versus my speed? Not so much the speed, but it could be motivation behind that speed.
No, just if you see somebody enough, you're going to see them when they're also chilling out, also when they're vegging out. You're going to see them when they're eating Hamburger Helper. Right? So you're going to see if you're hanging out with somebody a lot, you're going to see them. It's not like,
just face value.
Yeah, I shouldn't. It's not like I look busy or limbs around.
No. You look so. I think you're maybe either so tired, or actually, I don't know if you.
quit painting a sloth-like picture of it to the internet.
He's like, why'd you helping me out, dog? Bro, is that what it is? Is that this underlying question?
I have the cocaine. I just haven't tried it yet.
All right, I'll change subjects.
Times 2 speed.
Back to the mindfulness, as in getting your day started, or is there also things throughout the day for that?
Cocaine.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think, progression can be a habit. You know what I mean? And thinking about it that way. And and progression is either up or down, but being aware of it and how to like get out of a funk. That's what I think. And for me, it's like being aware that you are in one is that's the first thing, right? For a lot of things
battle
is awareness first, right? And then afterwards you can just start doing other things to get out of it. And I think over time, I've realized just by doing again is helping out more than anything else, because I get in like cyclical thinking sometimes, not only about myself, about like maybe how I'm portrayed, perception of myself, other things, right? That's like, like, man, yeah, I'm just going to sit here all day in bed because it feels great. Yeah. But then you got to wake up and you're going to be like, yeah, that's how I feel sometimes, but you're just like, man, I got to go hit the gym, got to do something that's actually productive for myself, makes myself feel good, get those endorphins in, dopamine, serotonin, whatever it is.
Today I was telling Liem about waking up 9 to 5 job when I was working in the office instead of working at home. I forget how we had this conversation, but I told her it was Drew. Oh, I was talking about you have that YouTube USB Bluetooth speaker, and I was telling her it's like waterproof, and I want to. I'm thinking about. I used to have one that's waterproof, and I was thinking about putting it in the shower because in the mornings it might
use that one.
Maybe I will. I was thinking it might energize me.
Although double check that it's waterproof. I'm not sure.
I think I have one somewhere. But I was telling her I think it would be nice to energize me, because getting up in the morning, the grueling, having to be in an office job where, especially as a software engineer, where I feel like my work should be more project based and not time based in the sense of the office hours. So
yeah,
as I was telling her that story, she's like, I guess she's only known me since having the work at home option. So she hasn't seen the other life of the grueling waking up at 9 when I don't want, or 7 or 8 when I don't want to. So anyways.
No, it's interesting. Like even just going back to that, like even you said you're just on your phone in your morning. Like one habit that I've known that helped me is just shutting it off at night and not even turning it on until I get something done in the morning. Whether it be something like I go to the gym, I don't even turn it on. I just leave that shit at home, and then I get back to it, and then it's helped out a lot.
Great idea,
yeah. And they're talking about like there's some other podcasts and stuff that I've listened to. They were just saying the blue light from there, like on your phones, actually keeps you awake.
Oh yeah.
And so like if you can just turn that shit off like right before you go to sleep, or like maybe an hour beforehand, even better. It can help you.
Mine goes into yellow light mode at 10 p.m.
Yeah. Yeah. See, that's good, but I just don't know how much.
Shout out to Google Pixel.
Yeah. How much does that help? I don't know. For me, it's just like every time I have my phone on, I'm fucking on it. You know what I mean? Just got to turn that shit off, and then,
you got to leave the dating apps behind, bro.
Yeah, man. Finger swiping. Fuck. Yeah.
I'll have to call out Spencer. So I did what you suggested on drinking a lot of water in the morning. For him, his suggestion was, his great daily habit was, before he goes to bed at night, is get like probably is that a liter of water, and put it by his bed every night, so that when he wakes up, the first thing he does is just.
Probably energizing.
That's what he says. And then I've been trying it. It doesn't have the same effect on me.
You pound a liter?
I've been pounding like half a liter. So it doesn't feel like it's really helping me, but
if you're not putting enough gas in the tank, you got to liter up.
A liter's a lot, man. It's a lot.
That's half of a 2 liter. For Americans that drink soda out of 2 liter jugs.
All right. Next question. What's the biggest problem for humans, and what should they do to fix it?
I think a lot of it is individual. What is it like? Getting I don't know. It's I think mental health is freaking big issue right now for humans in general, behavioral wise, especially with the age of information, and how easy it is to get distracted from certain things, and your perception of your own reality changes as you get all this information from everywhere. It's learning how to cipher it through, and focusing on what you believe would make you just a better person in doing whatever you need to do, instead of focusing on everything else around you. I think focus is probably one of the biggest things, where we direct our attention. That has a big effect on our own mental health. Yeah.
I direct my attention on people that are crazier than I am, and then I feel really solid.
My dad, he works he works he works at a psych ward, he works psych.
Perfect.
Yeah, and it's funny. It's like I always thought, he was always kind of crazy. He still is a little bit, but you got to be a little crazier than the crazy ones. That's what it is. Yeah. So I think like he knows what crazy is, and then he's just like right above there. And I was like, oh shit. Yeah, I live with a crazy guy, but hey man, he's cool.
That's funny. Can you get that account that you went on the date on? That would be hilarious. For true.
Oh, that'd be so hard, man. Oh, what did I do? Just kidding.
That sounds like a no.
No.
All right. Last question. Tell me in a few sentences or less about what this conversation was like. If you've done a podcast or interview before, describe the biggest difference. I may use this in a collage for potential new guests.
Never done a podcast before. I like the setup. Yeah. Feels good. Yeah. Able to voice yourself a little bit, and, going around like-minded people who just want to, present a, certain topic, or, present some type of value to the audience it's a beautiful thing. That's what I think.
Is there something you wanted to talk about that we didn't touch on?
No, not in the sense of, no, we covered a lot of things. I wasn't really 100% prepared, and I didn't know what to prepare for. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just go in here and talk about certain things. So.
Yeah, but now it's really just a conversation.
Yeah.
I think some people when I start talking to the whether it be emails or conversation about the preparation prior to this, and I just tell them it's just a conversation, but a lot of them want to prep more, and they fear that it's a really long, lengthy conversation where there's a lot of dead spots. But as you see the way it goes, like there's three of us, especially with three people, but even before, when it was just me doing it, I make sure that if there's any dry air or dry spots in the conversation, I just ask them a question. That's just, and I'm genuinely usually
I'm just here to fill the dead space.
I'm genuinely usually interested in their stories. I think that's when you say that people get to share their perspectives. That's what even when I asked about, I didn't mean to put you on the spot about like selling out on crypto, but I think that's stories that you get the day traders that talk about winning. You don't hear the people that regret something. And the regret, sometimes we humans typically learn more from regret than from success. That's humans.
Do I regret? No, I don't. Yeah, I don't regret.
Oh, that's a good way to end this.
Yeah.
Cheers
guys.
to the future.